Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of The Art of Ramona Fradon. Now this is from Dynamite Comics, 152 pages, and the book came out in 2013. Should be still relatively available, fairly easy. Also, you can get it on the Kindle Unlimited for free as well, which is very handy. Now, Ramona Fradon was one of the most prolific and high-profile female cartoonists at the time, and 1960s, 1970s. You've got there Plastic Man, you've got various Super Friends, Metamorpho, Aquaman, and many others. And this book is really great because it's got a brilliant conversational interview with Howard Chaykin all the way through. Just absolutely brilliant. One depressing thing with the Ramona Fradon's work, lots of it not easy accessible. Lots of it's available on Showcase Presents, and I've actually just gone and ordered a copy of the Showcase Presents Super Friends. I didn't have a copy of that. But lots of the material, certainly Plastic Man, not relevant. I don't think there was even a showcase of that, weirdly. But there's no omnibus collections. Metamorpho, no omnibus collections, but there is a showcase. But also there's World Finest, and many of those ones, lots of these ones are not collected, not particularly easy. And even the Aquaman, I thought, oh, it's got the Aquaman ones. I just looked, volume 1 of Showcase doesn't include some of the stories in here, which is very strange. I would have thought they would have included those, but it didn't. Now, this book is quite a nice size. You can see the size there. Nice colour and black and white all the way through. Really nice quality paper, nice glossy paper. And it's just very, very slick book. And you can see The Art of Ramona Fradon, interviewed by Howard Chaykin. There's details there. And let's go. The contents, you've got all the contents there, and you can see Queen of the Seven Seas, Man of... Now, this book is slightly odd in the sense it feels like it's a try out for other books as well. Murray Boltinoff, as well as E. Nelson Bridewell, they get a sidebar, not really even a sidebar, it's a full, about 4 or 5 pages in some cases, where it's got lots of details about their career, obviously with connection with Ramona Fradon, but not... Just seems very odd, just put this big section about this other artist or editor, etc. Very strange. But still, Walter Simonson there, nice introduction. And you've got, obviously, some great, lots of, well, look at that, lovely strips there. But, of course, nothing particularly... Obviously, she talks about there the influences. You've got Terry and the Pirates, the Phantom. But it's just a real nice section. I always love newspaper strips. And then you've got some more as well, obviously, there. This one is Dana and Ramona, unpublished strips. Shazam sketch, Shining Night sketch. Also, you got here Star Spangled War stories, and great little, those very unusual stories, those ones. But it's also got this, full stories. Now, done in a slightly unusual way. Obviously, this one's not in colour, but some are actually in colour. But it's just, I quite like this format of just doing it sort of, obviously 2 pages, just show all the stories. And I bought some Russ Cochran catalogues, auction catalogues, and they did a very similar thing with lots of those pre-trend EC ones, and they were just great, seeing little, obviously very tiny, but at the same time, at least you get the story, and lots of these have never been reprinted. So the only way to see them is just by here, and they're, you know, perfectly readable, very easy to read the stories, very sharp. Also things like Gangbusters. I mean, I don't know when Gangbusters was. This says 1952. Again, not printed and never been collected in any collection as far as I'm aware. Plastic Man. Again, yeah, another series that I don't think's ever been collected. This is what I mean about this. Murray Boltinoff. Just very odd. You've got, well, you know, 2 or 3 pages about him, which is very strange in the middle of this book. But still, Aquaman. Now, I just quickly checked on my Showcase, the Wikipedia for Showcase, and for Aquaman, Volume 1. I thought, oh, it's probably going to include these stories. But it doesn't. For some weird reason, this one's 1958, and this is Adventure Comics number 251, and not included in that volume. So it's great to just see them here. So you can read the story if you want to read it that way. It's like, obviously, 7 pages. 7 pages put over 2 pages. Very easy to read. In colour, of course, so black and white. Also, you got there Showcase Presents Aquaman and Aqualad. Obviously, at that point, they were just pushing, obviously, the new, all the various Flash, the Green Lantern, all in their Showcase Presents. Great pencil sketches as well. Another Aquaman one as well, which is always very nice little stories. Then Showcase Presents Aquaman again. And then you've got Metamorpho. Now, there is a collection of his. You've got the, of course, Showcase one, but I don't think there's any omnibus. I hope they bring out an omnibus collection of Metamorpho. They were really good stories. I thoroughly enjoyed them. thoroughly enjoyed reading them at the time as well. They were just great, very, very unusual. Shuffling his atoms again. Again, another little section, this time of George Kashdan. Now, of course, there is a connection. There's a reason why they've included them, but it's just odd that they just include this sort of like little sidebar, in this case only 2 pages. Ramona returns to comics at Marvel. And it's great, it's got, and I've just seen on Facebook there's been a lot of talk about the Hellcat story. Beware the cat, I should say, beware the claws of the cat. I was saying Hellcat, but the cat, of course, turned into Tigra, not Hellcat. But you've got the Spellbound ones, and you've got a lovely there with a obviously different design and costume. And then onto Namora. I was quite surprised by that, Namora one. Anyway, then you've got another sidebar, this time about Joseph Patterson. All very interesting stuff, but very odd when you probably filled about 10 or 12 pages with other artists and writers and editors, etc. But why? Also, you get some more sidebars and other sort of stories, complete stories as well. So you've got a lovely story there. Last Tango in Hell, it says there. Freedom Fighters was another one. Super Friends. Now, I just ordered the showcase book on that one. That seems to be long out of print now. But I thought, oh, you know what? I've never read any Super Friends. I don't know why, but I don't even think I've actually ever watched it on any of the TV series. I'm not saying if it was, it probably was. Please put in the comments below. But was it shown in the UK? Probably available somewhere on maybe Amazon Prime or something. I don't know. Lots of sketches, which is always great all the way through this, and I just love it. This book is just great. You've got Super Friends, and then it goes to Brenda Starr. This is the reporter. Really, really lovely artwork, and you've got some really beautiful black and white as well. I think sometimes it's actually nicer to see in black and white. When you look at the colour ones, you can see it's slightly rough to look at. But when you see the black and white, so much sharper, and you can really appreciate the artwork there. Brenda Starr reporter. And then another one, Brenda Starr reporter, all the way through to the back. And you've got some, this is nice. This is a really, really good section, I think, at the back. Got some sketches as well, and bibliography. So you've got bibliography, and it's got all the only slight criticism would have been if they had done it in order of chronological order. But maybe other people would say, oh no, it's better to have it this order. Maybe you could have both. Maybe smaller and just sort of, but you've got here Adventure Comics 206, Ventures Comics 220, 223, 247, etc., etc. So you can see these are 1953, 54, 56, 56, and so on. These are obviously the Aquaman stories. And then all the way through, you've got that fantastic 433. That's one of my favourite, all-time favourite, the Thunderous story. Love that one. Freedom Fighters. I've never bought any Freedom. I don't know if there's any showcases of those either. Can't think of one. There might be. Might be a collection. House of Mystery, of course, 48, 56, etc. And these ones are 1956 as well. So I suspect they're not probably collected. So a lot of this material. Namora, obviously that's a great one, issued from 2010. Metamorpho, all the way through again, not collected, other than the showcase one. Plastic Man, Super Friends, again, showcase one. And then all the way through to The Unexpected and Wonder Woman Annual and so on. And it's just great. Get more pages as well, which is very nice. And apparently this one was from the Amazing World of DC Comics. Yet another collection that I would love to see if they bring out a collection of those. This is just a beautiful book. Absolutely brilliant. All the way through it. I say it's colour. It's got black and white. Really great illustrations all the way through. Really great collection of her work. Just a pity that there's not more sort of omnibus collection or collections in general of Ramona Fradon's work, because, like I say, lots of these ones, they're just not readily available. But you can see them in here, which is really nice. So, Art of Ramona Fradon, I think, just a lovely, lovely collection. And also, brilliant interview as well, or conversations, it says. And that's the thing about it, it's got so much information, just goes all the way through, and I didn't really particularly mention that. It is actually a very, very interesting conversation all the way through this book. And like I say, it's backwards and forwards between Howard Chaykin, great artist in his own right, absolutely superb, and Ramona Fradon. So you find out so much about Ramona Fradon, which is brilliant. So, totally recommended, brilliant, brilliant book.